Hi Fancy fans, welcome back to Flights of Fancy. I'm Sarah and today we'll be doing a phenomenal tutorial. Hopefully you get some inspiration to do projects like these or any project you like on your own, because it's all about the crafting. Today we'll be doing some beading, which I haven't done in a long time, but I just love beading. It could be as detailed oriented as you want, or just slap something together. I made these earrings a while ago now, but I just did this necklace. I caught it on film and hopefully it'll be really inspirational for you to do. I also made these faux stone beads out of polymer clay, and unfortunately I didn't get these ones on video because I was just practicing, but they turned out amazing, so I'll do a video in the future on how to do this particular technique. Okay, let me get this real close so you can see. I'll have photos of it too if this doesn't turn out. But then I had a bunch of these little Swarovski crystals hanging around, and they made great accent beads. So I had a lot of fun, and I hope you have fun watching it and get a lot of inspiration. So let's get to it.
Here are some of the beads that I will be using in this project that I made earlier. And normally you would sand these with a fine grit paper, maybe even underwater, make them exceptionally smooth and shiny, and then also gloss them. But unfortunately my sandpaper just was out and I didn't have any more. And I can't just go along to the store for any more, so I just had to make do. I tried my best, but it just wasn't going to happen. So here I am picking out what beads I would like to have in the overall design. I started with the 7 faux stone necklace beads and the 2 earring droplets. And I found out of my collection that I already had some Swarovski crystals and some burgundy pearls that came from another salvaged jewelry. I can't remember what they came from, but they were hanging out in my collection. And all these pinkish, purplish, lavenderish beads that I just had laying around. I had to pick them all out of a box and sort them. And here I am setting out what my pattern's gonna be. And all the little beads were spread out so far, it seemed like it was gonna be longer than it was. For the statement bead, I decided to make a pendant out of it so that it would hang below the main necklace on its own rather than be strung along in a row with all the other beads. And here I am using some wire to make a loop and clasp for that, with a couple little added extra beads for interest. So I'm picking out what beads are going to go above the main bead, and I picked out one of the burgundy pearls and a few Swarovski crystals, and then made a larger loop at the top to string it on the necklace with. And there could be a better shot of how this specifically was done, but you get the idea. Do a couple little loops there, and then sort of press the end piece that I cut off flush. And there we have it, a nice little pendant with some statement pearls on it. And as I was looking for something else in my beading box, I came across these baskets to go on my earring droplets. I thought those would look pretty nice. I have a spool of this plastic necklace string to use, and I'm going to go ahead and use some of these pinch beads to make sure that all my beads don't run off the end of the string. I went ahead and put on a clasp, and you can kind of see how I strung the pinch bead on there and pinched it. And now I'm ready to string my necklace. Very exciting. Here we go, all in a row. And of course they have beading trays that with little divots to keep all your beads from like all rolling everywhere, but I find a nice, maybe this isn't the most ideal piece of fabric, but something that's like thicker maybe and slightly fuzzy so they don't go all rolling all over the place is the best. Once I got all the beads strung on, I realized it was way shorter than I realized. And so I thought, well, I'll have to just add some filler beads that would go between these main beads and the clasp. But first I'll go ahead and string the other side. I'm laying out my pattern again here, just so I can get them all on there in a jiffy. And I did decide to add a few more beads to separate out where I put the pendant. Got all these beads put on and... oh, somehow I forgot to put the pendant on. How did I forget to put the pendant on? I gotta unstring them all and start all over again. The pendant did not fit over the seed beads. Unfortunate. I had to take those off too. Wah, wah. Okay, pop that on there. And let's get all these beads on here in a jiffy. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, so now I have to decide the pattern of small seed beads that would be the beads that go around the back of your neck. And I decided on a green, 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 you know, purple peak sort of pattern. And just had a little pile of my random green beads and picked them out, and my purpley pinky beads all in a row. I had a very limited supply of the purple pink ones, but it turned out to be quite nice. So for this side, I'm going to go ahead and use wire to make my own loop so that the clasp can clasp the loop. And so I'm going to have a small end and a larger end. And sorry, I just cannot keep my hands in the frame. But as you can see, I put a couple loops around on this side, and then I cut the wrong end. Alright, everybody makes mistakes. Nobody's perfect. It's a pain in the butt, but here, you know, it's just practice, so I'll do that again. Put 2 or 3 little loops, kind of cut and pinch the end flat. I've got all these, I've got round tip tools, flat tip tools, all kinds of stuff to help you out here. And I went ahead and put an accent bead on this loop, clasp holding loop. Sometimes it's a little bit fiddly here. Get that last little bit nice and flush. And went ahead and used a small whitish greenish Swarovski crystal. Here's what it looks like halfway done. Oh, Dink, get out of here. Dink, you're gonna scatter my beads. Oh, get out of here. Cats. Okay, here we are doing the larger end. And I hope you can see how this is coming together. I didn't want to speed it up too fast so that you could see the detail of how this works. You know, if my fingers aren't in the way. Cut off the extra, pinch down the end nice and flush, the rest of the coil, and then futz with which way the loops are turned. Here I decided I wanted them to be at 90 degrees from each other. Alright, there we go. can't futz with them too much or you'll start denting your wire. Okay, yep, that's looking pretty good. So I'll take a pinch bead and a decorative bead and put that on my string here. On our zoom in here, you can see I left a little slack so that there's room for my tool to go ahead and pinch the bead without smashing any other beads. And now we can do the other end of the necklace. I had to cut the clasp off and start on this side. Pop all those beads up on here. These little seed beads are really hard to pick up and string, but you kind of get the hang of it. Then maybe there's a special tool for this, I'm not sure. And my camera ran out of batteries before I quite got it finished, but here's the final result.
Okay, I hope that was really interesting, inspirational, and fun. And subscribe. Catch you next time.